I'm happy to invite to the stage and welcome to the stage Matt Ring from John Deere, who's going to talk to us about some of their process of transformation based on Dora. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. I was a little thirsty, so I needed all the water. No. All right, thank you, Nathan. So, as Nathan said, my name is Matt Ring. I'm a senior product and engineering coach at John Deere. I was originally going to co-present this with a partner of mine, Justin Thompson. He unfortunately had a personal matter that he prevented him from coming here. So, but if he were here, he would introduce himself. He's a group product manager for our developer experience platforms. And what I wanted to talk about today, the topic that I wanted to bring up was, we're going to press buttons. Seriously, Nathan? 5 minutes? I get 5 minutes? What am I going to talk about in 5 minutes? Also known as how Dora influenced our agile operating model at John Deere. Okay, start the clock. So last year, Amy Willard and I presented at this conference, as well as the virtual conference in December, Virtual DevOps Enterprise Summit in December, around our 3-year agile transformation from 2019 to 2022. Detailing our 3-year journey, transforming over 500 global technology teams in shifting from projects to products, adopting new agile and DevOps ways of working, and evolving our organizational culture to one that is more generative, psychologically safe, and transparent. We saw great results from it. What I want to do for the next 5 minutes here is just double-click into how Dora's research helped influence us throughout that journey. So the first thing was really just in terms of how we measured success. So from the start, Dora's research was really top of mind for us as we were looking at how would we measure what 3-year, what success would look like at the end of this thing. So as you can see on the left there, through our journey, we leveraged metrics that ultimately ended up aligning with John Smart's better value, sooner, safer, happier model. And the items that are bolded there on the left were those that were really directly influenced by findings from Dora's research. So definitely things around from the quality standpoint, from the delivery speed standpoint, but also from the culture standpoint, kind of tying into Nicole's talk there about culture. We leveraged Dora's research for 2 reasons. One, we knew that its findings were tested against multiple industries and was backed by science of the data variety. And we also, one of the other benefits was that it was helping get our technology leaders and our practitioners on board with these metrics because it was an outside credible source that was telling us that was, and it wasn't just measures from our internal coaching group, our internal transformation group that was saying, hey, these things would be great. So kind of that idea of you say something's a good idea and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And then somebody outside says the exact same thing and they're like, that's a great idea. We should do that. We leveraged that for Dora. All right. Secondly, it helped guide, Dora's research also helped guide our coaching and practices when we were going through and helping our teams adopt these new ways of working. So ways that we would do that, one example would be, we would do like a value stream map. So when we'd come in, we'd coach our teams, and we'd say like, what's impeding your ability to deliver faster, more reliably, speed, reliability, things like that. So we'd do a value stream map to understand like, where are the impediments at. From there, we would identify, potentially like, what's the biggest bottleneck from there. And then where Dora's capability model really helped out was to say, okay, here's a particular bottleneck that we've got, the biggest bottleneck for the team. What are some capabilities that Dora recommends that would help to address that bottleneck? So in this example right here, our biggest bottleneck for this example would be that it wasn't so much on the delivery or pipeline or technical practices side. It was the teams were taking like 2 massive things. They need to get better at working in smaller batches, which I'm really also excited about today that it's on the core model. No, that's not on the core model anymore. Anyway, never mind. But technical practices, those are good too. So then, once we'd figure out working in small batches, then we'd also look at, okay, well, how are they doing? Maybe their next bottleneck is around the pipeline piece. So in adopting continuous integration, continuous delivery, maybe trunk-based development. From there, maybe then, okay, well, then the change approval process is their bottleneck. So how can we adjust that? But Dora's model really helped us kind of identify what were some practices, what were some capabilities that could help us address those bottlenecks to flow. And then third, because coaching is not necessarily scalable when you're immersed with a team, we looked for Dora's research and capability models to help supplement some of our self-service guidance that we were giving out to teams. So this is a page from one of our intranet sites, as you can see, that was showing, in this example here, if a team was like, we're really struggling with MTTR, that's a measure that we would really like to improve on. We'd say, okay, well, if you're not familiar with MTTR, here's what it is, here's why it matters. But then also, here's some ways to improve upon it. And so we would show them, and we would link out to content out on Dora.dev. Here's what Dora has found to be capabilities that can help you with MTTR. And so it was giving them breadcrumbs so they could help themselves get better. And then if they figured out, or if they were good enough or improved enough where MTTR wasn't their biggest issue, then we could say, well, the Dora Quick Check is another area where you could say, all right, like, how are you comparing? What's the next best investment for your group or your team? And then after those 3 years of this transformation, we had some really exciting results to share in terms of speed to release, deploying more things more often and in smaller batches. We had happier customers and happier employees. And very importantly, we realized a greater than 100% return on our investment over that 3-year initiative. That's a big selling point, especially for our executive leadership. That's it. Thank you so much. I have one thing here. So I don't have time, just to keep things going, trains on schedule. I see you, Jeff Gallimore. I'm not going to take any questions here. If you have any questions, I'll be around in the open space. Otherwise, feel free to capture some stuff in Slack. One last ask that I have for this group. Since Justin was not able to be here, he had a personal matter, he really wanted to be here for this group. He's really passionate about this community. What I would like to do is I'd like to take a selfie with this group, if I can. If you can give a thumbs up or smiley faces or heart hands or whatever, but just to show kind of your appreciation or support for him. Sorry, the worst part of it is getting the phone.
While he does that, if you're on the edges, come stand in the middle so you can all be in the picture.
Yeah. All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you all so much.
So Matt, I have a late-breaking update for you. While you were giving your talk, Rob Edwards made Matt's core model,
Awesome.
and we've
I love it.
handwritten in.
It's a write-in.
Yeah,
That's-
working in small batches.
I'm framing this.
It drives everything.
Thank
So
you
there
so
you go. All right, let's hear it again for Matt. Thank you so much.